That is a cool car. Holy sh...
Language.
Cool. What's up, it's Casey from Caseyscustoms. I am putting a V8 in a 1990 Honda CRX and converting it to rear-wheel drive. In this video, we finished building our chassis, we got our airbags installed, and we finally get the motor and transmission mounted. Let's get to the footage. We finally got some parts in, so we are back on the beautiful Honda CRX that I am putting a V8 in and converting it to rear-wheel drive. I got some heavy-duty inner fenders that are going to tie in my front clip structure to the firewall. Right now, it's just kind of sloppy and nothing is holding it together. That's why it's just sitting there. And the big one is I got brand new rims and tires. I really like these. I had to get kind of a funky offset because, as you can see, my S10 rims and tires are a little bit too tall, and also they stick out too far. So these go in about 1 inch, even though they're the same width, and I really like the looks of them. They do not look too bad. I test fit one of the rims the other day. I haven't test fit it with tires on, but it looked really good. I was very happy with how much it went in. So I was gonna throw those on right now, but basically the car is just sitting on jack stands. Nothing can roll. The frame is not finished yet. I can't finish anything until the wheels are on. So what I'm gonna do is actually pull this baby outside. We're gonna hoist up the body with the crane, and we're gonna go ahead, get these wheels and tires on the bare frame so I can finish it up. Probably gonna go ahead, do my airbag installation, and then at the end of the video, we'll be able to bring our finished frame out, put the body back on top, and we'll get a good look at it. These rims and tires, not only do they sit in more, they are almost 3 full inches shorter. So we should have our rocker damn near on the ground, but we got a lot of work to do. Let's pop this body off real quick. Also, I messed up my ankle today working out, so I'm kind of hobbling around the shop a little bit, and I've basically concluded that working out is bad for you. So keep that in mind, guys. Let's get this body off. This was harder than it should have been. It used to roll, but somehow the body has kind of wedged itself on the frame. Obviously, I haven't made any body mounts. There's no floor. But it took me 45 minutes to get it here. It should not have been that long. I went ahead, took the front clip off. Also, I don't know if I said it earlier, I am going to try and put the motor in the original spot. So whenever I get this body off, we are going to move the motor and transmission up to the original motor mounts. I actually have the stock motor mounts for it that'll bolt into this small block. So I'm going to try that because I was reading comments. Everybody was kind of cool with it either way. But I had one guy who made a really good point. He said, Casey, do you think you and your dad are going to fit in that thing? And then I was like, you know what? That's a really good point. I'm 6'1", dad's 6'5". So yeah, I probably could use more leg room. The way a lot of guys fix this when they do like a mid motor is you bring your dash and shit way out here and you essentially sit back here. And I don't love that as much, you know, having my head like there. So I'm going to try and put it up front. I don't know if it's going to work there. So there's a good chance it's going to come back here. I'm not sure yet, but we're going to explore all options while we got the body off. And whenever I do get this frame finally done, we get the wheels put on it. Hopefully the next time the body goes on will be the last time it goes on. So let's get her up. Body is off. Motor is going up. I have to go find the S10 motor mounts. I know I have them. I just have to find them. That's, you know, a project on its own. But I think we're going to be okay. We're just going to scooter a little bit forward and then see what happens. Boy, I hope it doesn't raise it up too much. Worst come to worst, if I absolutely have to, I can cut these mounts off and then use these weld-on mounts right there. But I don't know. Should be okay. I need to go find them first, though. Think. Am I right? Wait. Yeah. Get in there, baby. Oh, scratch the chrome. That's good. What's cool, these mounts actually have an upper spot and a lower. I put it lower. I could technically bring this motor down a bunch though. So I think we will finish up the frame stuff, and whenever we put the body back on, if I'm having issues, I might cut these out because that would save me a bunch of room. I mean, I guess I could still, how's this look? Well, I tell you what, those are probably too damn big, to be honest with you. So I don't think I'll be able to use these. This section here is too big. Hopefully it just fits where it is and we can just make our transmission cross member and be done. But I don't know, that seems pretty damn high. We might have to adjust it, but I'm not gonna deal with that right now. We are gonna push the chassis back in, get started on our airbags. I really wanna finish up this chassis because I'm tired of not being able to roll it around because everything is moving. None of the rear end isn't attached to anything, so I got C-clamps on it. So yeah, let's get her inside and start welding some shit. All right, the frame is in. It is time to put the pretty wheels on, and then we can finish up our chassis work. If people are wondering why I need new wheels to finish up my chassis, you technically don't. But in this case, I'm making this frame from scratch, and I have 4 different tires on right now. A couple of them are actually different sized, and then a couple of them are just worn out more than the others. 2 of them barely hold air, so it's kind of just throwing stuff off. Now, my floor is not level, so I'm still gonna have to level the frame off before I finish up my airbags. But having the same wheels on all 4 sides helps a ton. That's what I'm doing right now, and then we'll go ahead and make sure everything's level and finish up our airbag. But I'm so excited we get to put the pretties on. Let's see what they look like. So I wanted to try and describe how close my math was to being wrong with these tires, but it's easier just to show you. Check this out. My cross member is currently about 2.5 inches off the ground, and the tire sidewall is, I think, 2.25. So, I mean, we were really close to that cross member just being on the ground, let alone if there's a flat. Good news is, if there's a flat, we will still have a little bit of room. We will not be dragging. Also, your airbags will be on, so that'll help. You'd have to have a flat and have a bag blowout to even come close to scraping, and even then, it won't because my math, but it was close. All right, let's put the backs on. All right, I got my 4-link starting to go together so I can kind of see where everything is gonna land. And a couple things we gotta do. One, this has to be moved. I kind of knew it was going to. I said it in the last video. It's most likely gonna be moved up here somewhere, but I still need to cut it out so I can do my 4-link and then put it back. So what I'm gonna do for now is just put a piece of pipe across here and weld it, so whenever I cut this out, it doesn't squeeze in a bunch. Technically, that one back there should hold it together, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Then what I have to do is come in here and clean up all this rust, not only on the frame, but on the axle, because this lower bag mount is gonna get welded there, and then my upper bag mount is gonna get welded up here. So I gotta get all that down to bare metal. I can't have any rust, can't have any flakiness. Same thing with in the back where the panhard bar is gonna go. So we gotta do a bunch of stuff before we can even start putting this together. And it's already getting late in the day, so what I want to do before I call it a day, get this cut out and weld a bar across there, and then get all this cleaned up with a flap disc. So let's get dirty real quick. Oh, got everything cleaned up down to bare metal, got that welded in. It was 15 minutes ago when I got done, and the shop is still just smoked out from all the rust. So we are calling it a night.
The next day.
Okay, it is the next day. We got the shop all cleaned up, looking great. Got everything ground down yesterday that is gonna get welded to it, because you cannot weld over rust. That is a huge deal. I see people doing that all the time where they will tack weld over rust or tack weld over paint, and the weld will just never stick. It's not grabbing anything. It needs teeth to bite. So I have all that ready. What I'm gonna do right now, make sure my rear end is pretty square. Great thing about a 4-link is everything's adjustable, but you still wanna start with it being square, you know, and then put your stuff on. So I'm gonna get it all kind of mocked up, And then we're probably gonna start throwing some tack welds down and get the level out. And it shouldn't be too hard of a 4-link considering everything is just bare and wide open. I don't have to like, you know, go around a cross member or anything crazy like that, like if it was in a car. So let's see how quick we can do it. Let's go. Okay, check it out. We're starting to get stuff fitting together. It is tight. S10s are tiny, so you always run into some issues. I got my rear bags in here. Everything is squared up and level. They are currently all the way down. Obviously, I want it all the way down. I'm setting all my angles for it down. Panhard bars should be level when it's at ride height. So whenever it's up 4 inches, this will be level. The only thing I'm running into now is my 4-link is hitting my bag mount. So we're gonna have to get creative. I'm gonna probably end up making this bracket from scratch because it's gonna be a real funky shape. I'm gonna try and cut it out of this one to use this one, but I don't know if I have enough meat on there to cut off what I need. But the goal is to get my 4-link attached right there. I got a lot of good weld, and if I get it close enough to this, I can actually tie the bag bracket into all of it. What you want to do whenever you do these, you want to tie in everything as much as you can. So what I mean is you don't want to just have it welded to one spot on the frame. You want to tie it into several spots on the frame, anywhere you can. I always like to try and make my brackets touch, so then you're getting like even more structure. So that's kind of what I'm doing, but nothing is solid. We're just tack welding stuff, checking measurements 100 different times. What you never want to do is just get in here, run a full bead and think you got it perfect, because who knows, maybe your pinion angle moved or something silly got out of whack and you have to just cut it all off and start over. So far it's not too bad. I've had to modify a couple of the brackets, but nothing crazy. So, well, let's keep going. Hopefully, if I can get this damn 4-link sitting like that, we'll be good to go. But I don't know. Back at it. Okay, everything is square and actually looks good. What I'm doing now though, I'm putting some big old heavy tacks on it so it doesn't move. So I'm not going to weld it in fully because these 4-links have rubber bushings in them, and if I weld this whole thing as much as it needs welded, you will melt the living shit out of them. So we're going to do a couple more big fatty tacks and then probably call it done. Four-link is done. Everything is welded solid enough that it's not going anywhere. Very, very exciting. This took a hell of a lot longer than it should have, but anytime you're making the shit from scratch, you know, it can kind of get funky. Stuff gets in the way that shouldn't get in the way. If this was a normal, full-size S10 frame, a lot of stuff wouldn't be so close, but it's fine. We ended up getting it worked out. It is super strong. I'm going to go ahead and I will be adding more bracing to some stuff, but it's fine for now. It's not going anywhere. Basically, this thing is plenty cool the way it is with these big heavy tack welds. A couple of things are welded solid. I just wouldn't trust to drive on it, but I totally trust putting the body back on it, all that stuff we need to do. So, very exciting. It is time to do the front end. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm probably going to jinx it by saying this. The front end should be a lot easier because it's essentially a bolt-in kit for an S10 front suspension. I just said that. I probably just fucked that up, but you know, it is what it is. There are brackets that are specifically made for those A-arms and for the strut mounts, so everything should go together pretty simple, but I'm sure we're going to have to modify something a little bit just because that's how life is. Also, if you haven't watched any of these videos, I actually have my A-arms tack welded shut, so they are all the way down, as you can see. So we need to cut that. But basically, that is acting the same way the bag will when the bag is all the way down. If this ends up hitting, we're having any issues with the bags, you can shave a lot off of this to get it lower. There's a lot of stuff you can do with these S10 A-arms to kind of get them lower. So we got lots of wiggle room in there, but it is time to finally start on this. I probably just messed up by saying that the front end was going to be easier. I should not have done that, but you live and you learn. Let's get to work. put back together. I got it close. What is that? I should be alone. Am I not alone? What the heck is that? What is that noise? Oh, God! What is that noise? Holy crap, there's something out here. What a... Hey, you! Okay, I am done with the driver's side, I think. Hold on, maybe I shouldn't speak too soon. Beautiful. Does that go up as high as it used to be? Or is it higher? Ooh. Okay, perfect. We pancake out just about where we were before. The only problem I have, this bag is too big. I should not have went with that size of bag. Normally those giant bags are for the rear, but they wouldn't fit because we have such a tight setup. So I went with the smaller bags in the rear, and these are pretty damn giant. They're gonna work for now, but I'm probably end up switching them out. Also, I 100% jinxed it. I said earlier I shouldn't have jinxed it and say the front was gonna be easy. Yeah, I think I spent 4 hours just on this side. It should never take that long, but cutting stuff, smoothing stuff. Half of this shit was rusty. The cotter pin was broke. The castle nut didn't want to come out. All kinds of stuff. But we got one down. And the great news is now I know everything I need to do for the passenger side. And the rear looks awesome. I'm so happy with how the rear looks. So tomorrow we're going to come in, get that other side done, and this chassis should be finished. I am excited. This has been so much damn work on this thing. And I think at the beginning of the video, I was like, oh, we should be able to knock this out in a day. Yeah, we're like 20 plus hours in right now, and we're not even done. So good times. Other stuff. What the heck was that? What is that noise? Then I thought you actually.
The mic is right there.
Oh, Jesus. I was looking in the air. It is the next day. I got a bitchin' headache. My little bastard kid was sick for a week, and he might have got me sick. I don't know. Don't feel good. Not loving life. But guess what? We don't do the work doesn't get done. So let's get in here, get some shit done. Also, whenever I'm not feeling great, I like to always just tell myself, hey, man, an hour of work you do, that helps you the next time you work on it. So even if you only get 30 minutes done, well, that's 30 minutes less the next time you work on it. So I'm going to try and get this passenger side done. Once this passenger bag is in, frame, chassis is essentially done. We did all the hard stuff. We got the rear 4-link all done. I just need to get this side done. We already did the driver's side yesterday. Granted, there's a lot more than just throwing a bag in there. We got to do a lot of cutting, but I think we can knock it out tonight, call it a win. Let's stop whining and get to work. All right, great news. I got the bag put in, passenger side. It went together pretty smoothly, was no issues. It really helps a lot whenever you've already done the driver's side and you know what needs cut. So everything that, was a clearance issue and a pain in the ass on that side, I already knew. So got it all cut out. No big deal. Went in there. Everything looks great. I got my air lines ran. I went ahead and threw a little bit of air in it just because I wanted to see what happened. That bag mount instantly popped off. Now, obviously, I just have it tacked. Nothing's too crazy. But I want to be able to put air in it, while I'm kind of figuring stuff out. So I'm going to reinforce it a little bit. These, whenever I do these style bags, I like to tie them in together. So I'm going to put a bar going across the front of them. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I might end up doing one in the rear too. But this here should definitely stiffen everything up enough. Or I can just put weight on it. Like I said, this will need fully welded later. I'm just not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do 10 hours of welding when I'm still trying to just kind of figure out where we're putting stuff. So Let's weld that bar in there and then see if we can put some air in the damn thing. All right, funny story. Check this out. I got this brace all welded in because earlier when I put air in it, this bag started to flex a little bit. Got it all braced up. I was looking at stuff. I was going, you know, there's no weight back here. That shouldn't have done that. And I realized I still had a C-clamp on this old bump stop holding the rear end square, so it couldn't move. So earlier when I gave it about 100 pounds of PSI, it was trying to push this mount off of the frame because it couldn't lift. It was, you know, essentially welded together there. So it held better, a lot better than I thought. After I popped that off, it was instantly free. So I threw the front wheels on. We're gonna throw air in it now for the first time. We should be good. Kind of checked a little bit while I was just kind of getting stuff put together. I don't think I have any leaks, so let's see what happens. Oh, let's see what happens. Makes a hell of a difference when the mount can actually move. Oh, I gotta adjust that panhard bar. I got that panhard bar in there wrong. Good news is these ladder bars are parallel. That's exactly what you want them. They need to be parallel whenever the bags are up, essentially. Your panhard bar in the back should be parallel too, and it is really not. So we need to move that mount down about 4 inches. I have no idea how I messed that up so bad. Probably working 100 hours a week and not sleeping. That's probably why. But these are the important ones. That all looks really good. Let's take it off these jack stands so it can finally sit on its own. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Yeah, baby! We got an actual chassis. Cool, man. Ooh, it looks good, too. I don't have a ton of air in it either. I can still go up probably another 2 or 3 inches, I think. See how much more the front goes up. Oh, yeah. It's still raising in the front. Cool. It's probably way too much pressure. Oh, I just realized my compressor's not on too, so. Sweet. Look at that. We got a frame, baby. Here's the fun part of the airbags. Let's lay them out. Not bad. I think our cross member is not on the ground. How close is it? Cross member is about 1.5 inches from the ground. That's perfect. So it still rolls even when it's all the way down. Definitely got to adjust some things. We definitely got to finish welding some things, but that is a perfect spot to be to put our chassis, or to put our body back on. I'm going to bed.
The next day.
So last night, we basically got our chassis work done. We got the airbags going up and down. Everything is looking good. It is time to throw the body on the frame. I really wanted to do this during the daylight so you can kind of see it better. But, you know, shit happens. We're working 1,000,000 hours. And sometimes the only time I have is at night. Because today I bought a new truck. That video is going to be coming up here pretty soon. I bought a turbocharged 71 Ford. Why? Because I have a problem. It happens. We're going to get the lights set up outside. We're going to roll this baby out there, plop the chassis on. Hopefully I can kind of get it on there well enough to roll it back inside so we can actually see what we're working on. But it is going to be low. These wheels and tires are, I think it was 3 inches lower, and they're also in more. So whenever we put the body on, it should just drop to the floor, I think, but I don't know. Let's see what happens. All right, check it out. I had a feeling this was going to happen, and sure enough, it did happen. There's just no way this motor is going to be up here. Not only is it too high, just the location it's at, the carburetor is going to be in the windshield. The valve covers are going to be in the windshield. I mean, it's just, there's no way. We have to move it back. I don't know that we have to go as far back as we had it before, but we definitely got to get it back. So before I even waste any more time trying to get this body on, I'm going to pop it off, pull the frame back some, unbolt all this, and try and slide it back where it was, and then put everything back. There's just no way. It's not going to work. Which is okay. It's fine. It's not the end of the deal. I kind of liked it back a little bit. I think I had it too far back originally because I didn't have anywhere to sit. So we need to find kind of somewhere in the middle. But up here is definitely not going to work. So that's a bummer, but shit happens. Let's move some stuff around. Okay, I've done about 5 hours of work with the time lapse running, so you don't even know what the hell was going on, but I got into a groove. I just wanted to get some shit done. We were working, we were moving, we were making things happen. I got the motor in. It is actually, I think, 2.5 inches lower than where it was before, and it is actually up around 2 inches. I had to notch my cross member. Everything in there actually clears. Got this motor super low, sitting good. Actually have the mounts tacked in. I got the transmission mount tacked in as well. And check this out. This is the coolest part, because that is just hammered on the ground, but nothing hits. Sweet. Might end up running a thinner oil pan to kind of give me a little more clearance, because it looks like it's about the same as this cross member. You never really want your oil pan to be the lowest part of your car, so we might tweak that a little bit. But the fact that it's hammered on the ground and nothing is hitting is just amazing. So the good news is, well, there's two things, good news, bad news. The good news is, basically, I got this motor exactly where it needs to be, where it's going to be able to be. It can't go any more forward. I don't want it any farther back. I need the room, yada, yada, yada. The bad news is, this is where it's at, so I got to make everything work around it. So if the seat isn't comfortable, we're going to have to move it back. I know I said earlier in the video, I do not want to be driving from the back seat. So hopefully we can kind of tweak some stuff there. But yeah, this is where it's going to be. Looks good. I am very happy with it. Let's get this damn body on there and call this a video. Got so many hours in this damn thing, and I think I'm getting sick because my voice is deeper than it usually is. This took some time, but I finally got her in here. It took a lot of jacks and like pushing and whatever, but we got the body on the frame in the shop so we can kind of button up some stuff. It is very, very late. You can kind of hear it in my voice, but she is there. I got some room in here. I obviously still need to trim some stuff on the firewall, but I'm actually really happy with where we have the motor. And the fact that the motor and transmission are actually mounted is crazy, because I assumed doing the bags was going to be pretty much the whole video, but to get the motor in there, and now we're going to go ahead and make some real quick body mounts, just some down and dirty ones, nothing crazy. I'm so happy. It is 100% on the ground. Rockers are laid out. Here's a cool thing. I haven't even had to cut my rear wheel wells up. I could technically run a lot bigger rear tire if I came in here and cut these. I'm not going to tackle that right now because I'm cool with what I got. But actually, with the frame laying out so much with the bags, actually my floor is not too bad. And we actually did get, I've said actually like 5 times in a row, sorry. The motor is more forward by a couple inches than it was. So I do have more room in here than I did before, which is great. So I'm just going to do some down and dirty body mounts so that they are sitting on the frame, and we'll be able to air it up, roll it outside, and air it out and kind of get a good look at it. I'm going to try and put the front clip on the best I can, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to make all those mounts. I need to open up my inner fenders that I bought for it. Let's get a look at those real quick while we're at it. I assume these are going to need some modifying. Oh, these are big boys. Oh, yeah. That's not bad at all. Yeah. And then what I'm going to be able to do, since these are heavy duty, well, obviously, I'll brace them up even more. But check it out. This is going to be how we tie the firewall into the front frame section, because all of this frame, it's technically a unibody, that I cut out, I kept in the front. So we're going to be able to tie all this in. And then from this, whenever we have our fender on and everything is good, I'll be able to make bracing from here and all this, and then close all this in, make it super strong. So cool. As you can tell, it's a little bit too big for those wheels, but I'll probably just leave it big. That way I can run a bigger wheel if I want to down the line. Cool. All right. Let's make some body mounts and call this a night. I am dog tired. Oh, shit. That's actually on fire. Okay. Whoopsie. Okay. She is actually up. We got some very rough and dirty temporary body mounts, but it is mounted to our frame. And it is currently 10 inches off the ground. We are really getting some good lift with these bags. Even though these front bags are still too big and I probably need to tweak them, I love having, you know, a full 9.5, 10 inches of vertical straight up and then all the way back down on the rocker. So very, very cool. One nice thing about the mount I did in the back, obviously the ones in the front are not going to work because they're going to be in the way. The one that I did in the back essentially might just end up staying there. I mean, that's pretty simple, going to work. I want something, you know, up into here of the subframe and all that shit, or the unibody. I want it tied in up here too, so it'll be a little stronger, but not bad at all. Sweet. I'm calling it a night. Tomorrow, we will roll her out, put the front clip on, and lay her on the ground and see how she looks. I'm really excited to see how it looks out in the sun tomorrow, but I'm beat. That makes me happy. Wow. That thing's hammered. Yeah, no, it don't take much to make me happy, but boy, that takes the cake. Our wheels are turned a little bit, but damn, it looks so much better. I'm going to try and throw the front clip on real quick, even though I technically don't have the mounts for it, but I want to see what it looks like with that on. So let's do that real quick. Check it out. Damn, that looks good. Front clip's just sitting there. It's about to fall off because I got to make the mounts for it, but oh shit, I love it. I can also run a lot bigger wheels, I realize. Rocker is on the ground. Holy crap, that thing is cool as shit. We're gonna run a much smaller distributor though. Oh, that's fucking dope. I know I say they're all my favorite, but this one might be my favorite. Oh, no, I mean, that one's probably, well, no. God, they're all my favorite. I love them all. That one's pretty goddamn cool, though. Man, I almost don't even want to push it inside because it looks so damn good out here. That is a cool fucking car. Holy shit. You know, I'm freaking stoked. How could you not be? Looks so good. Here's what we're going to do on the next video. Next video, we are going to install these inner fenders, and basically that is going to tie in the front frame to the rest of the frame. We got to reinforce the hell out of the firewall, reinforce all that, because right now the only thing holding up my front end is like 2 bolts on the fenders, and it would just rip off if I ever actually had it held that way. So we'll need to reinforce all of that. We're gonna be doing all that on the next video because I have put in about 100 hours this week. It was obviously worth it. I'm so happy with how this thing looks. Also, it's great to have the frame done. The motor, I thought the motor was too low. I thought the oil pan was gonna drag a couple times, but luckily we're good. We got all that done. Please hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel more than you would ever imagine. We got so many really cool projects going on in the shop right now, so you want to stay tuned and check out some of that stuff. For the coolest merchandise on the planet, go to Caseyscustoms.com. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, comment, all that good shit they tell you at the end of videos. Check out some more of my other videos. Peace. I love you. I cannot really been addicted to you.